My goodness, a sit-down video in the studio? What is going on? Hi, beautiful people. It is I, MissRessaT. And yes, I am in the studio, and you guys are going to see me in the studio more often. Let me apologize. I do have the air on. Well, I'm not apologizing because I stay in the South, so I have to have the air on. Maybe I will look into getting a mic or something, but I came to do a book video today. So I discussed this in a vlog, like a vlog 10 years ago, but saying that I'm just going to put everything on one channel. You watch what you want to watch. I'm going to put all book stuff in a book playlist. So if you're interested in book stuff, which I don't have a lot of people who are, but I'm hoping that grows, then you can just go to the book playlist. If you're here for fashion videos and hauls, you go to that playlist. Might even bust out with a hair. It is the anniversary of my hair. I am six years locked. My anniversary, my hair always comes around with my birthday, which I did just celebrate a birthday a few days ago, 2 days ago. And yeah, my hair just goes along with it because I literally just put some twists in my hair 6 years ago for my 31st birthday, because I didn't want to deal with my loose natural hair that day because we just had like a crab. I think we did crab or something, me and Tasha, that time. And yeah, it was some quick twists and I never took them out. And here we go. 6 years later, here are my locks. I put these 2 screen twists in myself. I interlocked and colored myself. Okay, this is getting long. So if I do a hair video, it'll be in the hair playlist, such and such and such. Get it? Got it? Good, because I am here for your entertainment, and I am feeling in a great place to be back on YouTube for your entertainment. And I'm enjoying myself doing this at this very moment. So yeah. So as the title says, I'm here to talk about my books I read in June. Yes, it is August. Yes, I'm going to film my July books right after this. I'm very behind. I still forgot to do this. Actually thought I did. But I read some good books in June and I don't just want to pass them by. So I am going to get right into it here. So on the booktube here, we'll do long form version. If you just want short wrap-ups really quick, then I do yes, no, maybes on TikTok for my monthly wrap-ups. You can also follow me on my book Instagram page. So I share my books and my jewelry stuff on there. I don't have any of my jewelry on today, but I still do waist beads. I still do my my crystal jewelry and stuff like that. Mostly I've just been wearing it for myself because that's why I always started that for myself. But I will be, I'm needing to make some new stuff for myself, so I'll be doing that soon. But yeah, that's what that page is. It's at MissRessaT Plus. So my main Instagram page is at MissRessaT, and so my bookstagram and my apparel stuff is on at MissRessaT Plus. All right, plant related stuff is at plus size plant mama on Instagram. Okay, we got pages for everything. Instagram, Facebook, for everything. Now TikTok is where I love TikTok because I feel like I can put everything on there without an issue. I am going to try to do that now here on YouTube. I do feel like YouTube is a lot of niche based. I am not editing this video, so let me just shut up. I am going to go in and put in the beginning like, hey, skip here to the wrap up because I know I'm rambling, but I'm just so happy to be filming. I hope you guys are happy to see me. So the books that I read in June, I have my iPad over here. I read quite a few books, so I cannot like do them off the top of my head. I will tell you the way I read the book, like if I read a physical copy, if I read it on my Kindle, or if I read it, you know, some other ebook platform, or if I did an audio book. Okay, because I do all of them. I mostly do Kindle. If you know me, well, if you don't know me, I stay in a tiny house. I do not have a whole bunch of space. I literally have like 4 shelves for books. I'm thinking about putting a bookshelf in here, in my studio, so I can get more physical books, but that's just more excuse for me to buy things. So I try to limit how many physical books I have, and if I actually have the physical book, that means I really love it. Sometimes I remember to bring the physical book in here so I can show it on the screen. Otherwise, it'll be on the screen somewhere. I'll put a screenshot of the book. And then also I'll give my star rating. I do 5-star, 1 star to 5-star, 5-star. A 5-star book is a book that I absolutely will read again. I would purchase that physical copy of the book. It's just I just loved it all around. 4-star for me would be a very, very good book. Like I don't have to purchase it per se. Like if I just wanted to have a physical copy, like it just fell in my lap, then hey, yay. But it's still, I mean, it's a very good book. It just may have been a few things. 3-star is for me, it's a good story. You know, it's a good story. 2-star, 1-star, I guess those will kind of speak for themselves. But like 3-star and up, like it was a decent book. So let's get into it because I read, oh gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Geez, I read 20 books in the month of June. I enjoyed myself thoroughly. So I'm going to be just referencing back to my Instagram posts. These are not in, well, these are not in the order that I read them, I'm pretty sure, on this post here. So the first book I'll discuss is a book called Jambalaya. Oh, I can't really see the title name off the Instagram post. Let me do this. Let me go back to Goodreads. I am on Goodreads. Am I MissRessaT on there? Everything will be in the description box. I'm on Goodreads. I'm on Storygraph. Yeah. So it's Jambalaya, The Natural Woman's Book of Personal Charms and Practical Rituals by Lusa. I do not know how to say her name. I don't like to butcher people's name. I have very bad time with pronunciation. So it was just, the book will be on the screen here. This is a book that I read. I read this as a collective with a group, another group that I'm in. So we read this book as a collective. This book is a, if you're interested in a certain spirituality, then this book is for you. I'm not gonna talk too much about going to that, but yeah, I give this book a 5-star. I found it very helpful. I did end up getting this. We listened to them on on an Audible together, but I did went ahead and purchase this on Kindle so I could have it for myself. A lot of things that I highlighted in that book, very much enjoyed. Next book was I accidentally hooked up with a vampire. Accidents Happen #2. This is the book #2 in by Jessica Cage. The first book is I Accidentally Summoned a Demon. If I'm not mistaken, that's the name of that first book. Oh my god, first book, hilarious. Kiki, I mean, just Kiki it, okay? Second book, I will say, like, it still gave that same vibe, like you Kiki'd. I just didn't Kiki as much. Like the story, I don't know, I felt like the story got kind of lost in it. I don't know, maybe it needed more story. It was a lot of hunching. It is a spicy book. Oh, that first book was I guess you can, I don't know if you would call that fiction or nonfiction, so I'm leaving that alone. But this book is a nonfiction book. This is clearly vampire overall plot. Sis was going through it, and is this the one? Let me see, I read this a minute ago here, y'all. But yeah, Whitney had lost her job, honey. Whitney was going through it, and literally accidentally hooked up with a vampire. Like, I don't know what to say. She hooked up with a vampire, and you just I love Jessica Cage. The way she writes these is how, like, I would react if I met like a demon, if I met a vampire. So it is very relatable. Overall, good book. I gave that 3 stars. Definitely check out book #1 for sure. I read Sunrise on the Reaping. So I have been reading all of the Hunger Games books. The whole series is just collectively a 5-star. Sunrise on the Reaping just recently came out, and I was so happy because I was almost there. I was almost caught up. So by the time June, I was it came out like May, I was ready to read it. And my gosh, all of the books are better than the movies. Every last one of the books are better than the movies, even though the movies are so good. All of the books are better than the movies, and this is by Suzanne Collins, also. But this, like I said, all of them are better. But this one right here, like I legit almost shed a tear. I think I may have shed a tear, and I'm a G. I'm a gangster in this. I don't be shedding tears, but like, gosh, like the Capitol was the mother. Like, damn, like if you actually read the books, like if you think the people were treated bad in the freaking movies, the books, man, went hard. Okay, so Sunrise on the Reaping was actually going back to Haymitch, so we got to get more of Haymitch's story. If you remember from Catching Fire and all those, Haymitch is the, what do they call? He's the victor, and then you win, and then you still got to come back every year, and then, you know, and so we got a little bit of Haymitch's story in some of the other books here, but this one is dedicated going back to really when Haymitch got selected, or did he get selected? Whoo, child, the way that all went down, like, for real, I have nothing but good things to say. I would absolutely read that whole series over again. But Sunrise on the Reaping was definitely one of my favorite books in that, on the Hunger Games series. That was a 5-star for me. Okay, so then I continued series, right? I have been Jacqueline J has had me in a chokehold for quite some time. So I started last month reading, well, when I say last month, I'm talking about January, February, March, April, May, right? I started off with Capadonna, I started off with Capone. Okay, Capone is the first book in this long series, right? So in June, and then I read, I started Capadonna. These are twin brothers here. they're alike, but they're different, right? So now we have Capadonna's out of jail. So in June, I read Capadonna has an ass of books. All of them have an ass. So yeah, it's like 4 books in Capadonna. What? Okay, stop. I'm not editing this video. So yeah. Capadonna 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5. And she explains in the books why she had to release it like that with the halves. So don't come for her, y'all. Capadonna, my mindset is in June. So in June, Capadonna is my fave. Capadonna is my fave. He is the other twin brother who is not out of jail. Capadonna don't play no games. Capadonna is a devout Muslim. And certified fool, okay? Certified fool. He don't play by his woman. He know what he wants. His romantic partner that he finds is like the perfect match for him. Only thing I do not like about Capadonna, I didn't really like the age gap between him and Aliyah. I may be saying her name wrong. Trying to remember off the top of my head. I'm very bad with names, remember that. But like the story was just hilarious. Like overall, the whole Capadonna series, I gave every book a 4-star, except for the last book. I gave that one a 5-star. It was the wrap up. It was the end. Of course, we're going to see Capadonna. We see Capone in this book. We see everybody carries on to the next book. But his personality, like to be so serious and to be so funny at the same time, like. But yeah, trials and tribulations, honey. People trying to come for the twins, trying to come for the family. He finds out he has a son. Like it's all kind of like so good. Eat it up. And I'm not like, before starting Capone, I would say I did not read a lot of urban fiction. I'm more of a fantasy girl. Fantasy and thrillers and sci-fi things. Historical romance, historical fiction. Listen. Jacqueline J has won. She has won for the year. I don't know if anybody would catch up with her, the amount of books I read from her at this point. I just kept going. So I knocked all of those books out. All of them super good. And then the third book in the, from Kennedy Ryan, Can't Get Enough, came out. What's the name of this series? Skyland series. Okay. I will say I have a love-hate relationship because, the writing is immaculate. Miss Kennedy Ryan is no joke, but she's the slow burn queen, okay? And I'm not a big romance girl. I'm just getting into historical romance, okay? But at this point, like I said, with all the urban fiction I read, I guess I'm becoming a romance girly. But I have been excited. This is the book that I have been waiting for in this series from the first book, Before I Let You Go. We were introduced to the 3 girlfriends here. I don't not ask me everybody's name, but when they first introduced Hendrix, I knew her book was going to be the one that I wanted to read, and indeed, my gosh, 5 stars. Oh, Hendrix is me. I see myself in this book, and I don't get to see that so confidently. Almost had a moment, and the writing was so good to me. Like. She did her research. She goes hard. Like, I just felt so seen and represented. Hendrix was a single woman here who is about her career. Okay. I don't want all that. I don't want the marriage. I don't want the kids. I'm out here not even about having fun. This was about her business. And I don't see anything wrong with choosing your career over personal life. Even though we all gonna get checked at some point when we have to realize, okay, yeah, you need other people in your life. You get what I'm saying? But the fact that she was able to find someone, was it Maverick? Or I think his name is Maverick. I'm so horrible with names. But to find a partner that saw her, to be seen. Like, cause I am a woman who, I don't know. I know these are books, y'all, but I'm like, damn, I don't know if I'm going to be seen. Like, somebody who can respect me, know that, like, I'm about my business, but I can also love you too. Like, but no, I'm about my business, right? Like, let me still be me. I want you to take things off my plate. I want to be less independent, but I'm still independent. You get what I'm saying? That love story was beautiful. And she went through, we get real life situations with Alzheimer's and all kind of things in this book. Just high level emotions, high level of love, just all the feels. So each woman was a different journey. Before I Let Go, that particular, she was divorced but still in love with her ex-husband, and they had to go through their journey. Second book, we had a happily married woman, and things weren't what they supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, and ended up having to change. And then we had Hendrix, who never was in that. Like, Hendrix, like, I have my roster or whatever. I'm about my business. So it was if I think all 3 books all together, like, if you really, I would recommend all 3 books. I will say I just didn't feel like I Can't Get Enough was as slow. I felt like it was a lot paced a little better for me. It wasn't like fast paced. I don't like Insta Love. It wasn't no Insta Love stuff, but it was definitely still like, or maybe just because I related to it more, but it is absolutely my favorite book. It is on my shelf. I did that via Audible. I got that via Audible and did the audiobook, but I have since purchased Can't Get Enough, and it is on my shelf. Speaking of that, I did not mention all for the rest. I accidentally hooked up with a vampire. I read that via I think Hoopla. And I do recommend the audio for both of those books. Her first book, Jessica Cage's first book, and second, because it's just the banter. Sunrise on the Reaping, I did do that via Hoopla. Also, and if you don't know what Hoopla is like a digital library. So you have to have a library card, and you know what it offers. Your different libraries offer different things. Sunrise on the Reaping. So yes, I did that. That was all auto book through Hoopla, and very good. Not all the Capadonna, all the Jacquel J books I did those all digital. So I read all those on my Kindle. There is now audio for Capone, Capadonna, and Capri. And I think I'm going to go back and read Capri via audiobook. But I do not recommend. I didn't even go listen to it for Capadonna. Capone, hell no. Shout out to that person. Shout out to that woman, but hell no. I'm not even going to do y'all like that. Just read it yourself, okay? So next was Roulette. Roulette is the third or fourth book. Chemistry, Ruger, Roulette. This may be the third one. I don't think I'm missing somebody because Rome just came out. So Roulette is basically this is a family here. All the people I just named are all siblings, and it's several more of them. This is in the Great List series. This book is by Gray Huffington. I started off chemistry, and I've been hooked ever since. Even though like I have the writing, Miss Huffington is you could tell she's a lover girl. She's a lover girl. She's very wordy. And it's a lot. It's a lot, but the stories are so good. Like it makes it, when you can get past those things that you don't normally like, that's how you know that the story is good. And yeah, Roulette, I gave that a 4-star. I still think Ruger is my favorite book, but I have not read Rome yet. Yes, all the sisters' names start with the R. I love stuff like that. Like all my siblings, like, well, my mama's siblings, we all start with a K. I don't know. I like stuff like that. But Roulette, what was Roulette about? Oh my gosh. And every last one of you gonna get a badass female. Okay, so just know the female main character is going to be a badass. Chemistry was no joke. That's the one son. He's no joke. He had to start off the story. You have to read these. I wouldn't recommend like just reading. I feel like you have to go in the series. That's just my opinion, to really get and understand their love and affection and admiration for chemistry and the women that each one of these women are. But like I said, Roulette is don't make me lie. Roulette is they all have like this tagline. The Madam Roulette, I was about to get that wrong. Roulette, okay, so this is book 4, so this is the 4th one. I think I said 3rd, but Roulette is the Madam. She runs a Madam type house, but she's not, and they all have their different kinks. And yeah, just read it, okay. Just read it. Then I read Plus Size Player by Danielle Allen. This is the second book in her Curve book series. The first book was Curvy Girl Summer. I love Curvy Girl Summer. I see like the reviews are mixed between the first and the second book. I thoroughly enjoy Curvy Girl Summer, the first book. So I was looking forward to book number 2, Plus Size Player. I did Roulette, I'm sorry. I gave Roulette a 4-star if I didn't say that. I always enjoyed those books. There's just because of like the wording and the extraness. I don't know if a book will ever be a 5-star, but just know 4-star. There are ants. I'm sorry. Where are those ants going? Okay. But Gray Huffington is just like, she's just like Kenny Ryan to me. Like the way she curates her books, I love like all of them the same shades of color. She has like perfumes and things that go, like, I love a good curated moment. I love a good aesthetic, and sis does it. But you know, of course there's things that are not exactly, so so it's always a 4-star. I've never read anything less than a 4-star, and I started with the Great List book series. Sorry. Back to Plus Size Player by Danielle Allen. I gave that a 3.5 star. I wanted to love this book so much. I was so excited for it because I just love the fact that it's a curvy series anyway. Shout out to the authors who write confident, curvy women. We exist. We deep. I mean, The amount of insecure, need to be saved, curvy women that are written, it's ridiculous. So shout out to Danielle Allen for that, because she consistently represents for the plus size women. This book kind of killed it for me in the beginning. I felt like I was so excited because we had, the way we went into this, it was like, here we go. Don't ask me the main character's name, but she's an influencer, which I love. I love seeing that in a book. A plus size influencer, and she has a roster. Okay, sis has a funny guy, a nerdy guy, I can't think of all the categories. Like, she had like four or five guys that she, you know, she's like, I don't want to be in a committed relationship, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like she goes on these dates. But from the what killed this book for me is from the very beginning, I felt like we knew which person that she liked. Like, they literally said, like, in the beginning, like, oh, we know that's your favorite, or this is your favorite. Like, it wasn't a built up through the roster. I would have loved for the book to just go on. She showed us going on the dates with each one of the dudes, and then, like, eventually, like, you know what, I think this one's my fave. From the very beginning of the book, it stated that this one was my fave, this certain one was my fave, and then we gradually see her, you know, cut off everybody else in the roster and pursue a relationship. Well, she don't even realize she pursuing a relationship with her fave one, and then they go through their ups and downs. It really was. It had a good story, but that just kind of killed. I don't know. That took away the excitement for me. But I do still recommend, like I said, a 3.5. Next was the whole Capri series. Capri is part of Jacquel's J. I don't know if there's like a name for this series, but Capri is the sister of Capadonna and Capone, and we see Capri in the first two books. You know, we get a little bit, everybody gets a little glimpse in, you know, of each person before they have their book, whatever. So Capri is fresh off of being divorced and going away to find herself for a year. Capri has been doing what everybody wants Capri to do, and it's time for Capri to discover who she is. And she got a cute man waiting for her, but he was so respectful, man. And disrespectful. Kwamir is a hot mess. Okay, I know his name. Kwamir is a hot mess. I love Kwamir. Kwamir made this series for me. Oh, her love interest in May. He is hilarious. It was like, okay, everybody man was like Capadonna, but then we met Kwamir, and I'm like, girl, Capri, we love your man. He is a damn fool, but he don't play by his woman. And this is our introduction into the Infernos. And so yeah, Capri has same amount of books as Capadonna. So Capri 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5. I believe I gave every book a 4-star. If I'm not mistaken, I did give Capri 2 a 3-star, but honestly, I don't remember why. But I do remember, I was like, oh gosh, let me get through this one. But it ended up very good. Love the, overall, love the entire series. I absolutely want to, this is the one I want to read over again. So that's how I know overall, I would love for this one. It is on now on Audible, and one of my favorite narrators is is doing it. So, and I just want to hear Kwamir and crack his jokes in auto in somebody else's voice, because Lord, you had me laughing in mine. Highly recommend the whole series. Yeah, highly recommend the whole series. Then we had Harlem Rhapsody, I keep saying that wrong, by Victoria Christopher Murray. This book is a historical fiction, and I got introduced to historical fiction this year, and I have not been disappointed yet. And this is another one. I can't say I was disappointed. This book was so good. I did this one as an audiobook. I got this through Libby, and that is, Libby is my local libraries, like, online system here. So the audiobook was very good to me, because like there's certain parts where they're singing and stuff like that, and to hear it is like the setting is, of course, it's historical fiction. So the setting is back in the day. So to hear somebody else, you know, them voicing in that such a way, I really loved it. But we followed the story of, oh gosh, what's the lady's name? Which I had never heard of her. And this is a real woman. So I was very excited. What was the lady name? Of course, the first thing I see is W.E. Du Bois. This is because, and that's the only downfall with the book here. I feel like it was heavily focused on W.E.B. Du Bois, and if you don't know who that is, that's the founder of. Well, I hadn't heard of the paper called The Crisis here. I knew him from his other works here during. Oh God, what am I trying to say? Like, not slave times, Lord, we were supposedly free, but y'all know the revolution and trying to actually, you know, be free for real. So this book is about, I still don't see her name. That's crazy. Jessie, my God, Jessie became the first like woman editor of a Negro magazine. Like, Jessie's story is great, but it has a lot of, but also she also had an affair with W.E. Du Bois. And we follow her journey and what Jessie ultimately decides for herself and what she accomplishes in life, which I had never heard of her in his real life. And shout out to the author for highlighting her story. That was an absolute 4-star for me. Enjoyed it. Then I read The Rage of Dragons, The Burning #1 by Evan Winter. This has been on my to read list ever since last year. Y'all, if it's a dragon, count me in, especially the dragon and black people. Sign me up, sign me up. My gosh. This story we follow, jeez, was he married? The main character, I'm gonna do better. I read these back in June, y'all, and I read 20 books in June. Imagine how many I read in July. So bear with me, okay? Go look them up. It's on the screen. But I did get this book 4-star. It's very good. We follow Tao. Yeah, Tao. This book started off crazy. The book started off like in war, and then like it goes to like a time where there's not in war, and then Tao he wasn't even really in training, I don't think. I think he was just like there's a caste system, and he's kind of at the lowest of the caste system, and so he is like his friends with the person who's in a higher caste, and they had a whole training. Something went down. Tao ended up losing people very close to him, and now he's on like a revenge type of thing. And don't we love it? Don't we love a good revenge? Okay, so he's training to be able to enact his revenge. Where the dragons come in, the dragons are used in their war, in part of their battles, and the women control the dragons. It's a lot of magic and fantasy, all that good stuff. Y'all, good read, absolute good read. Now I'm gonna tell you what no one told me. I did read the second book, The Fire's Avengers. I'll go ahead and skip to that one. The Fire's Avengers is the second book in that series. I gave that one a 5-star. My review says the hype is real. I'm just pissed that this series is not complete. I saw so many reviews on this book, and I swear for God, no one said that this series was incomplete. No one said this. So I went in thinking this was a duology, and this was the end. Like, this was so good, and I'm getting to the end. I'm like, wait, we're not wrapping this up. Yeah, left on a cliffhanger on a hellified good book. We continue to follow Tao and his ascend. Back in war. It's just a lot. If any of that interests you, definitely check it out. I promise you, I'm probably not explaining as good as it is. The hype is real between those books, and it's a black author, and because we don't get a lot of I need some more dragons with black. Yeah, yes, it was very blackity black. But it wasn't like, it was all fantasy. Like, there's no modern day fiction or anything like this. I love books that allows me to learn new words, or it have a map. Like, it got a map in it. It's my book, okay? It's weird made up countries and all kind of different magic system. That is my type of thing, okay? We're wrapping it up, y'all. This video is long. I read, it's called Root Work: Using the Folk Magic of Black America for Love, Money, and Success by Tanana Lee McCure. It's on the screen. This is a book. This is not another book. I didn't select this book here. I read this with my collective. Like the book I read, the first book I mentioned, Jambalaya. This book was a 3-star for me. Could be lower than that, but who am I to say what's what? So, take with that as you may. 5-star, another 5-star read. This is why I had to go back to June. Y'all had so many good reads. James by Percival Everett. James by Percival Everett is a Huckleberry Finn retelling from the perspective of Tom. What's his name? Tom? What's his name? Tom? No, Tom was the name of the boy. Huckleberry Finn. I'm trying to think. Jim. His name was Jim. My God. Okay, from the perspective of Jim. You know, we read that way back in school, okay? This was so freaking good. This is a 5-star. Like, this should be required reading. Just the way we had to require to read Huckleberry Finn and had to be exposed to being called reading the N-word in a book. We had to read that book in school. Yeah, James needs to, and the name of the book is called James Crest. What the hell you get Tom? It needs to be required reading. Like, it was so freaking good. So different. I don't know why I put some big beans in my hand like I wasn't talking, but now they're melting. I gotta eat them. Well, we got to see, like I said, retelling the story through James' perspective, but then James had his own little adventures. Like, some of the scenes, and I say scenes because I felt like I saw this stuff in my head, y'all, were very thought-provoking and just interesting, and puts you, not in, like, I kind of feared reading historical fiction because I'm like, it's going to put me back in it, like I'm there and I'm going to be triggered. And I won't say that you may not read historical fiction, get triggered. But I will say everything has been written so well in all the historical fiction that I have read that it does put me back there. I can see it, I can picture things, but it's not in a triggering way. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, moving on. I was interested in dark romance. I don't know why I've been wanting to. I'm like, if I gotta read romance, then I need it to not just be spicy or urban. And so let me try something different. Okay, so it was recommended to read Little Stranger. Little Stranger by Leah Rivers. It's actually a series. I've only read the first book. I gave it 4 stars. It is wild. Okay, it is wild. On the cover book, there's a spider. And you're like, this is a romance? Ooh. But you have 2 adopted siblings. The girl was adopted first, and then they adopted her brother. And he was just quiet and very, he went through, they both had trouble past. It was a reason that they were both adopted. But she kind of, adapted. He never really did. He kind of just stuck to himself. Only person he really talked to was his sister. And that's just saying that they're brother sisters. And these are who end up being the people romantic. Woo! It's gory. Like, read the trigger warnings, okay? It's wild and crazy ride, okay? And is this the last book? Let me double check. See if I missed anything before I say this is the last one. Yes, and the last book was Blacktop Wasteland by S.A. Cosby. This was our June book of the month, or either May, because if I finished it in June, yeah, it was a June book of the month. S.A. Cosby is at this point, definitely one of, he's an autobiography author. Previous to reading this, I have read a book of his after this one, but previous to this, Razor Blade Tears, absolutely will always forever recommend that book. And what's the other one when he was the black sheriff? Oh, cannot recall off the top of my head. I enjoyed that book. I'm actually going to go back and read that book because I feel like I may have been like in a certain space. I kind of rated that book low. But when I think about the plot of that book, what's the name of that freaking book? It was so good to be a black sheriff in this small town that's really, really racist. And then there was a whole underlying disappearing children investigation going on. Like, it was good. So Blacktop Wasteland is about Blacktop Wasteland, like racing, like this guy who can't seem to race away from his past, and he just feels the need to do one more thing, and it was all solve off his issues. But if you know how that go. Once you stepped out of a life, you need to stay up out of there. Very good. 5 stars. Shout out to S.A. Cosby. So that is a wrap of all the books that I read in the month of June. And that book, I have a physical copy. I read that. I like to tandem read, so I had already had that physical copy. I bought that book after I read Razor Blade Tears, just because it was on. I got it like really on a $5.99 book outlet sale, but I didn't know anything about it. I just knew that I had like S.A. Cosby, so I did have that physical book, and I read that along with listening to the Audible. I bought the Audible on Audible. I bought the audiobook, so I tandem read that. I highly recommend the audiobook for all his books. They're so good. But even if you don't, just read them yourself. They're very good. But I do own that book. It is on my shelf. I think that's it. This video is long as heck, and I'm just about to put it up here. Well, I got to put the little inserts in. Yeah. But I will be back with the books in July, and hopefully, as I be consistent, hopefully you guys may jump into it, or may find my tribe here in regards to books, and they will jump on it. If this, if you made it this far and this wasn't your thing, then just don't come back to the book playlist. But if this was your thing, definitely come back. Definitely, I would love to know if you read any of these books and what you rank them, and or anything else book related you want to chat about. Smooches.